It's a hard job being a game dev, and if you're an indie or solo developer, you probably know this better than anyone. But the indie dev community is growing at an accelerating rate. In a time where AAA studios are prioritizing profit over players and quality of their work, indie games have never been more important or more popular. My name is NoPoly, and this is Indie Spotlight, a series where I shine a light on some of the best indie developers and game artists within the community. Between artists and developers, there's an insane amount of talent that goes unrecognized, and I want to provide a platform for these creators to promote their work and share their experiences and knowledge. Today's guest is Doggy, a brilliant game artist who specializes in PSX style assets and is well known for his asset packs over on itch.io. If you're a game artist looking to gain some valuable insight into a professional's work, or a game developer who is looking for the right asset pack for your next project, then stick around because we're going to be diving into Doggy's work, why it's so good, and why it could be a great addition for your next game. Now, if you're familiar with my content, then you already know that I love retro and PSX style textures. Honestly, it's some of my most popular content and has been a driving force in the growth of my channel. Few people may know this, but Doggy has actually been an inspiration into my own PSX texturing work. He sent me his Humble bundle, which contains all of the assets that he's ever released over on itch.io, and to be honest, it's really fucking impressive. I'm just blown away by the amount of quality and attention to detail that he puts into his work. It's no wonder why he's one of itch.io's top selling artists. I really wanted to pick his brain, so I asked him a list of questions that he'll be answering for us while we showcase his work. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do any form of meeting or voice call, so I'll just be reading his answers back to you for this video. The first question being, how does he make his textures? A Doggy texture generally starts with just a single photo. He's out and about in the city, or maybe he's on vacation. And while people are taking photos of the scenery and the landscape, he's there finding value in the smaller details. You know, a brick wall or a crack in the sidewalk, just little things like that that most of us wouldn't really pay any attention to. So he'll take a bunch of photos, he'll bring them home, load them onto his computer, and sort through them, finding which ones he likes the most. Then he'll crop them, he'll fix the perspective, and he'll prep them, getting them ready for editing. He actually built his own little tool to do this called Simple Ripper. He's put it up for free on itch.io. Honestly, it's fucking great, man. I've been using it myself. Definitely go check that out. From there, he'll take them into paint.net. There, he'll make them seamless. He'll play with the color and contrast and fix those sorts of things up and basically process them into the PSX textures. And I think that's kind of why his textures feel so authentic, because he's doing it in such an authentic way to that era of gaming. Also, really wanted to know how long it takes him to make him an asset pack, and here's what he had to say. He said, I can't really give an exact time frame, but it does take a lot of time because I often get lost in these small details that no one else will really pay attention to. I'm also guilty of starting new projects before finishing previous ones, so I have a lot of unfinished ideas that are just waiting to be completed at some point, or maybe never. I definitely resonate with this answer a lot. You know, I get an idea, I psych myself up for it and just pour my heart and soul into it for about 2 weeks. And then something new and shiny comes along, steals all my attention and ambition, and completely forget about what I was just doing. Kudos to him though, he's published like 16 asset packs since he started on itch about 2 years ago, so good shit. Now, outside of publishing asset packs, he actually works as a junior programmer for Unity for the last 1.5 years. He started his career off as a 3D artist. You know, as a teenager, he was modding games like GTA San Andreas, and he was also studying game development in college. He later transitioned into just learning programming full time and just intensively studied C# and the Unity API for about 4 months. He's also published a couple of audio asset packs as well, which he can credit to about 5 years worth of music experience, as well as some experience in graphic design. feel like this is a pretty common trend within the indie game dev community. You know, we dip our toes in a little bit of everything and eventually just become like a jack of all trades. Whether this is born out of like passion or necessity or pure undiagnosed ADHD. But with a combination of Blender, Paint.net, FL Studio, and a couple of other little tools, he's able to produce some really high quality work. The PSX art style may not be the most skill demanding art style in the game dev world, but ensuring a consistent vibe, allowing your textures to all collaborate and tell the same story, and just holding everything to a high standard of work, like that is a skill in itself, and Pizza Doggy's kind of nailed that. And I think this is why his work just stands out so much against his peers. You know, art should be inspiring, and that's exactly what his work does. I mean, if I wasn't so trash at programming, there are a million ideas that I could create just by using his asset packs. My last question to him was, what are your biggest challenges and setbacks when creating asset packs? His response was, getting enough rest is often the biggest challenge. I'm unable to just relax and have always got to be doing something productive. I end up doing some kind of creative work at almost every opportunity, but this tends to lead to serious burnout every couple of months. During this time, I'm drained and unable to do any work, and it takes me about a week to recover. Now, I really appreciate this answer as it just kind of makes me feel like I'm not alone. You know, those late nights where you're staying up till 2, 3 in the morning, just working on projects, you've got a cold coffee on your desk, you're listening to lo-fi beats, playlists and shit. And if only there were like a couple more hours in the day. But eventually you run out of steam and you got to take a break, and it fucking sucks. Now, it's nice to take a peek behind the curtain, you know, the man behind the work, so to speak, but I don't just want to say all these nice words without actually putting his assets to some sort of use. So I actually spent about an hour within Godot just building out a level using only his assets. I'll preface this by saying, I'm not a level designer. I didn't have a lot of time to do this, and I didn't really plan anything out. I just sort of freestyled it. So yeah, hopefully it looks good. Now, I spent about an hour just dropping in some of his assets and building up a scene, and after messing with some lighting and a quick character controller, this is what I was able to whip up. Now, again, I went in this completely blind. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, and I just freestyled the whole thing. I still think it looks pretty fucking cool, come on. Like, this dude's texturing style and art, it's just so perfect for horror games, man. It's fucking cool. Now, I can only imagine what kind of a level you guys could design if you took the time to put in a little bit of effort and plan a level out properly. Pizza Doggy's work speaks volumes about the passion and commitment that he has to the indie game dev scene. Being able to collaborate with him and promote his work has been such a privilege for me. You know, I've gotten to speak to him a little bit over this amount of time, and he's a really fucking down-to-earth guy. You know, with the trend that AAA studios are sort of following right now, the games industry is in a bit of a dark place. But with independent artists and game developers who are just pouring their time and everything that they have into their work, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Indie games are on the rise, and Pizza Doggy, as well as so many others, are just empowering our developers. It's important to note that the indie scene is where originality is born. So keep trying new things, keep pushing the boundaries, and keep making new games. And if you're looking for an asset pack to help in the development of your game, Pizza Doggy and I have teamed up to bring you his Humble Bundle at a discounted price. In his Humble Bundle, you'll gain access to all of his work, past and future, at 10% off if you use my link. Also, a massive thank you to Pizza Doggy for being the first guest on this series. It means a lot to me. Now, if you're an indie developer who is working on a project or has recently released a game or a tool or something, or maybe you're a cracked game artist who wants to get featured on this channel because you're trying to do something for the indie community, you know, reach out to me, hit me up, because I want to get some more really cool people on this show. The goal of this series is to help show off your work and empower people within the indie dev community. So I'd love to hear from you. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Indie Spotlight. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll leave a link to my Discord if you want to come join a growing and passionate game dev community, as well as a link to my Patreon if you want to support me, this series, and my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.